Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Near Disney. It's the Wednesday show where us local panel of real estate experts get together to have a chat about the market and Orlando interest stories to keep you up to date on everything that's happening within a 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle. Right, the fireworks are popping off. That
Mhm.
means it's time to get going. And as all of you jump into the live stream, if you're catching us live, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. And meanwhile, we will introduce ourselves, who's actually on the Wednesday show tonight. Just two of us in our Brady Bunch squares, but that's cool. We both, two heads are better than at least just mine anyway. I'm Elijah Lewis with Florida in Motion Realty. And on Near Disney, they call me the Prince of Real Estate. And over beside me,
Hey everyone, I'm Virginia Carlson, also with Florida in Motion Realty, and they call me Cinderella on Near Disney, and we're so happy that you're joining us here tonight.
so we got some cool
Mhm.
topics, we got some cool listings, we got some interesting updates on the discussion around this whole is the government in Florida actually going to do something significant with property taxes or not?
Mhm.
So, yeah, stay tuned. But before that, we're not just near Disney. We are also near Universal because that is
Yes.
also well within the Central Florida lifestyle. As some people they take a hard side, kind of like whether you're the Chicago Cubs or the White Sox. We've got our Disney people and we got our Universal people, but
Mhm.
Epic Universe in Orlando drives record tourism, according to this NBC article here. And it seems that the tourism economy in Central Florida is proving to be strong this season, and maybe bringing in some strong tax revenue, according to if I could just get my mouse to get back, according to this incoming data. So basically, there's a lot of families from locally enjoying this
Mhm.
attraction, and also just uh, the tourism amusement park attractions in general. Apparently, of all the things from the rides from mild to wild in our area. Uh, Basically, when you look at Epic Universe, you see the needle moving, and so after a hot summer that continues now, the tourism development tax collections on hotel rooms have set records this year. In September, there were 26 million in revenues. This fiscal year that just ended had 385 million in receipts, and the healthy pot of tax reserves now sitting at 471 million. And then the officials are saying Orange County comptroller Phil Diamond saying that four straight record months began right after Epic Universe opened its gates this summer. So they're going to Epic and going
Mhm.
anywhere. It's bringing in a lot of money for the state, and
That's
so
great.
that's cool to see that people are really enjoying that stuff and utilizing it, and also helping the economy with all of
Mhm.
the jobs and the tax income that it creates. And
Yeah,
that
that's
kind
great
of
news.
oh, well, we got a comment here. Kim Hawk, the fairy godmother of real estate, saying hello,
Oh.
Cinderella and the prince. Well, thank you. Good to be recognized by our Disney monikers on here. I'm actually wearing an Alice in Wonderland shirt that I didn't realize wasn't fitting in the frame, actually. Uh,
That's okay.
but yeah, I want to bring that discussion over to from Realtor.com
Mhm.
about the National Association of Realtors weighing in about how this discussion around if the Governor DeSantis is he keeps bringing it up about he was talking about getting rid of property taxes at
Right.
first. This may come into a discussion about like, well, maybe they'll just be reduced in a significant way, which
Mhm.
would be welcomed by many homeowners, I'm sure. But according to Realtor.com here, their headline says Florida home prices could actually spike up to 9% under this plan to eliminate property taxes.
Yeah.
And so I guess, when you do something that appealing, all of a sudden demand comes into the supply and demand equation, which, of
Mhm.
course will impact prices. And so they're estimating an immediate jump by 7 to 9%, according to this analysis from Realtor.com, the research team. And so, I mean, that impacts, it's everything comes with its trade-offs.
Yeah.
Homeowners get relief, but, current renters and first-time home buyers could, be impacted by making the goalpost for pricing to get in,
Go up.
get even a little bit higher there.
Mm-hmm.
But, as when people kept asking, like, oh, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to afford this? That is kind of interesting to bookend off that previous topic of like how some of these new attractions, like Epic Universe and the strong park economy are, setting records as far as like tax and income into the state for revenue. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe there's a little piece of that pie there. So this would boost the aggregate value of Florida's home owner occupied housing stock by about 200 billion to 250 billion, creating an immediate windfall for current homeowners, but obviously impacting access for first-time home owners as well. So that's basically part of the rub there. I saw that this other data that came in from the Mayor Dyer, saying that like an estimated 3.2 million people expected to move to the Sunshine State by 2030. The Florida Apartment Association predicts 570,000 housing units needing to be built in the next 8 years to keep up with that demand.
Wow.
So there was people saying like, oh, the rust of Florida after the whole COVID fiasco, that's waning. Not as much interest in like, moving to this being the #1 state anymore. But, something like this could just kind of really solidify that as far as appealing.
Yeah, I feel like there's always new things coming up that are drawing people to continue to move here. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see what happens.
Yeah, Florida is going to continue to be a super attractive place.
Yeah, it really does.
And so I also, what part of our advice that comes in with that is that, we as realtors, with this kind of becoming a more serious conversation and maybe a where there's smoke, there's fire thing, like maybe there's actually going to be some sort of like significant percent reduction in property, taxes. We'll continue to keep you updated on that. Maybe now is the time to buy and get ahead of that. When we talk about that swell, because a lot of people, they won't make the move till it's official, and in many ways that's not necessarily a bad idea. But if it's something that you've been thinking about and grappling with and already planning on, maybe it's time to at least give us a call, see what's on the market, and see where we can help get you situated. Celebration, Florida, the town that was literally built by Disney, is where our home office is located. Even though we service the whole 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle. And we have a cool opportunity to share with you about this home listing that we have. And I'm going to at least play the video for you that we have about this home at 1444 Stickley Avenue. This is like a single family home in Celebration, Florida, that has a lot of beautiful features, like 4 bedrooms, wraparound porch, sits on a private street, 3-car garage, and just had the main bedroom on the first floor that we're kind of seeing through here, and shows very well, lots of spacious, and has some grass and yard space. This just had a price reduction to $1,188,500, and for people who know the Celebration inventory and lifestyle, they see that for like all this that you get, that's a pretty attractive price point to be coming into this, especially now that the price has just had a nice cut there. And the sellers are offering to pay a bit toward buying down the interest rate, because some people, not just property taxes being reduced would be attractive, but also, the environment of interest rates lowering. We had one interest rate cut from the Fed. People are waiting, to make their housing purchase decision on whether or not there might be more. But really, this just gets rid of the waiting. There's about like 25,000 that they can put toward buying down the interest rate, which according to our discussions could get you a rate that could be in the 5% something that has not been available for years, as far as being standard there. And so, yeah, definitely have a conversation with us about all of that and what works for you. And especially if you want to get in to see this property, single family home in Celebration, Florida, where like right now they've just set up their whole month-long snowing season. They make that
Mhm.
rain
It's
down the
beautiful.
soap that looks like snow. They have
Yeah.
the fake ice skating that's really charming, and all the shops and restaurants that are in that downtown are all decorated and having fun. And of course, that clip right there was just showing you the exclusive amenities that this neighborhood of Celebration, where this home is listed.
Yeah, it's a beautiful home. Definitely has a lot to
Yeah,
offer.
so
Mhm.
just definitely wanted to keep everyone aware of those opportunities with that. And
Yeah.
that's why our phone numbers are here on the screen for you the whole time. Because, just beyond the chat and the comment section on our YouTube outreach, we do, of course, offer you real access to us to get our voices and to schedule showings, or to just figure out your needs or what community or house type fits you best. We know a lot of lenders and all kinds of people in our network who are going to help you with every step pre purchase and post purchase.
Very nice.
And once you get a nice home all situated, once you've worked with us and we've become good friends with you,
Yeah.
there's going to be about some tips for how to sell your home if you work with us during the holiday season. If you're going to think about coming on the
Yes.
market right about now, which hey, we have had some listing appointments and talked to people who want to make it happen, praying for Christmas miracle, the full asking price contract, like.
Yeah, exactly.
And I saw you found an article on how to
Yeah.
make that easy.
Right. So a lot of people think like, well, maybe I won't put my home on the market. What do I do about decorations? Other, people are busy thinking about other things. However, if this is the time that your home needs to be put on the market, there are some ways that it can be kind of strategic during the holiday season. We do see that buyers who are looking during the holiday season, they tend to be serious and motivated, and that obviously comes into play because people do have a lot of other things going on, and so if you get people out that are looking, this can be the right time to sell for those niche buyers. So some more helpful hints when you are selling your home during the holidays are, we like to talk about this, are keep the decorations simple and tasteful. Just kind of keep it mainstream and not over the top, just so you can still kind of showcase the beauty of the home without having the decorations overpower what a buyer might see when they walk through the front door. Number two, we can highlight the warmth and comfort, and buyers love that. Even in the winter months down here in Florida, where yes, it's winter, but it is still a little chilly, and you can kind of create that warmth when you come into a home with lots of um, like throw pillows and blankets and things, just to kind of give that cozy feeling.
Sure.
Lighted candles, kind of fun things like that. Just create that warmth. The outdoors, you want to keep the exterior clean and well lit. Just have, because it gets dark earlier, so you just want to make sure that your porch is well lit. And if you have showings happening in the early evening when the sun goes down, and you just want to make sure your home
It
is
does
still.
get dark sooner.
It does. I mean, it starts to get dark around closer to like 5 o'clock. So if you
Some
still have
people, they want to schedule a showing like after 6 when they get off work or something.
exactly,
It's
exactly.
show it at night. It's a little tough.
Right. And so it really does have a different feel, even if it's not super late, it will feel that way because of the darkness. So the well lit exterior just really definitely makes an impact. Um, Also, you could be mindful of scheduling the showings. People have full plates. Lots of gatherings and things going on, so you could kind of do set hours versus people kind of coming in and having the home open all the time. So that's definitely helpful. And then, we always want to price strategically and stay market aware. Just even though the inventory is lower, you still want to have the home priced in, a competitive
Sure.
market.
I
And
know.
then, just lean into the emotional side of the home. Just create that feeling of when people walk in, they say, I want to start making memories and have traditions in this home,
Yeah.
and just be really appealing. So you can sell the holidays for sure.
Yeah. A lot of Christmas decor is,
Mm.
kind of classy, like,
It is.
metallic stuff, and a lot of charm. You definitely can make it work for a house showing very well. So
Absolutely.
we confer with you. We don't come in and just tell you to get rid of all your Christmas stuff. We have a heart.
No. Yeah. Just tell you the best way to showcase.
So another thing I wanted to bring up was just kind of an update that comes to us from the Orlando Business Journal about the Horizon West area. Out in that, like, Winter Garden
Hmm.
uh, neighborhood, where it's kind of around, that encompasses like Winter Garden and just some of those other Lake Nona, and even Sunbridge, just kind of that general area. Basically, you've got um, an update to a massive project that was previously just zoned as a landfill.
Hmm.
Basically, now Orange County is awaiting approval to turn it into a surf park attraction. 44-acre project. It's trying to get over the environmental and traffic concern hurdles. But basically, this is like a wave pool retail space with 575 parking spots, and, like,
Wow.
what you could just see with some of the concept art here, looks
Yes.
looks wild. Makes like Typhoon Lagoon look tame
Yeah.
out in the Disney water park attractions. And this is not, from what I can tell, um, from behind the 44-acre project at Avalon Road. This is
Hmm.
not in the tourist district per se, because it's like more than 5 miles away from Disney World, as
Hmm.
they call it. But basically, this looks like a really impressive thing that uh, the community and that sporting people could get great use out of. They had an interesting comment here that says, despite this being uh, an attraction, not quite a tourist attraction, it says that the goal of this property is to tap into the surf culture the beach community is known for. So maybe just, you don't have to live right on the coast and have like beach retail property to enjoy like some of that. It's never too far to drive in any direction from Central
Right.
Florida. How this is kind of a narrow state. Uh,
Hmm.
it's kind of nice if you want to get that practice in on, to have access to something like a surf
Yeah.
park. Uh, explains surf parks typically target residential areas, as they can be an amenity like other sports facilities.
Hmm.
So yeah, could be just a fun, different thing that isn't just Disney or Universal.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
It's
not
another good option.
sandwich right there, but someplace dotted around Central Florida. And hopefully, we'll keep you updated as this proposal takes actual shape,
Hmm.
whatever other hurdles it needs to clear for its zoning. But what a cool idea.
Yeah, it is cool.
And let's see,
Right.
kind of want to bookend off of your tips for keeping a home of curb appeal and
Hmm.
inside appeal attractive. Listing reports page on Instagram posted some kind of helpful reminders about once you get your home, and it's always good to be mindful of eventual resale. You might, the average time of moving is around 7 years or so, and time does fly. Sometimes you're like, did I
Hmm.
really just buy my house that only like 7 years ago? Where did it go? Now life has changed, and it's time to think about selling. And then, oh no, I neglected maintenance, and that and all of a sudden, you're trying to do these little things to play catch up to
Hmm.
have the home sell for its full potential. And so that is the number one thing on this list for mistakes that can, negatively impact the home's value. Leaky faucets, cracked tiles, minor issues, like some drywall got hit and it got chipped off or something. That stuff does kind of accumulate, and it's easy just to sigh and go, I guess I'll eventually deal with that or just live with it for a bit. But then these all accumulate and they all kind of get
Yeah.
nitpicked and noted in these showings. And it just kind of affects the eagerness to look at your home from a full asking price perspective, or
Hmm.
people just kind of, they point out, even if it's minor stuff, like death by 1,000 cuts. So
Yeah,
get
exactly.
on things. That's one thing that's great about when you know us. We open up our Rolodex to you of handymen and our
Hmm.
like local contractors and stuff. So don't have to worry about if you're not the one to take care of it yourself. Um, Over personalizing spaces. Well, it is your home, and we want you to do everything that you can for it to feel like your house, your sanctuary that you come to after work and such. But bold wallpaper, unusual paint choices, or themed rooms can make it harder for buyers to see themselves in there. So sometimes it's just like, if you're going to do this, just know maybe you're going to have to undo it
Hmm.
later.
Yeah.
Don't expect like the big Mickey Mouse mural or the big Star Wars fixtures that you put on there will be loved as much and cherished by the next people who come to look in your house. It's not never a guarantee
Yeah.
any of that kind of stuff, or the bright fuchsia or orange that you paint stuff
Exactly.
in. Yeah, we have seen some interesting paint color and wallpaper choices with some inventory lately, and it does, because like paint is cheap. Everyone says paint's cheap. Oh, that's it. But you know what? It does impact people's in what people's ability to kind of just see the home's full
It is. It
picture
is.
of themselves living there, or maybe they'll ask for bigger credits than
Hmm.
they really need. So
Yeah. Yeah. That
oh,
definitely is true.
hello, yes, Kim Hawk is saying hi. Drew Toth, dear friend for many decades. I'll appreciate anyone tuning in on
Yes. Thank
Facebook
you.
or YouTube. Oh, that's awesome. And let's see what else. DIY renovations gone wrong. No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
there's kind of I'll take the masculine sometimes stereotype where it's just like, I'm going to be handy. I'm going to do it myself and save
Yep.
a buck or prove my usefulness around the house. But like sometimes you just got to know when you're out of your element, especially when you're dealing with like plumbing or electrical or structural stuff to try to save money. Those mistakes will not save money, but cause a, potential,
Something even worse.
yeah, bigger headache that costs a fortune to fix.
Right. Right.
Hey, if you're really good at something, that's awesome. Go ahead and fix it and show off to the family. But if not, maybe YouTube tutorials won't always cut it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Clutter and poor staging. Like you
Yeah.
go nose blind, or just you don't even see the stuff in your house that you live with every day sometimes. But too much stuff does hide your home best features, especially if
Hmm.
your floor plan that worked for you to make this home cozy. Um, it's not the biggest space, and so every little square foot counts when it gets eaten up by large furniture or cluttered decor or counter space that's just totally littered with everything. So just something to keep in mind, and we'll try to nicely have conversations with our people about that kind of stuff, especially if we get feedback on showings that
Right.
pertains to
Exactly.
the agents, and the buyers both kind of chime in, and we
Hmm.
listen. We just present you, hey, this is what people were talking about when they saw your house.
Yeah.
With that, I think that was the
That's
meat of
great.
stuff. We normally have more people on this panel to bring you the news, but hey, if you're interested in any of like the homes that we talked about or celebration, or want to just know more about buying or selling in this market right now, especially with all those whispers and chatters that realtor.com was reporting about whether this property tax thing really gains any legs, definitely
Hmm.
watch that like a hawk. And but yeah, our phone numbers are here. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. Appreciate if you hit the like button or subscribe. We're on the path to 10,000 subscribers. This channel's been growing fast, and it's all thanks to you. Oh, and thanks to people commenting, telling
Yeah.
us we're doing a
Yes.
great job. We appreciate that.
Well,
And with this, we'll give you your evening back, or whenever you're watching the replay, and throw it over to Kim Hawk, the fairy godmother of real estate, to sign us out. Have a good one.
bye, everyone.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.